Welcome back to talk about the Rouse Corner redevelopment. I've invited the mayor of the Township of Elizabethtown-Kitley, Brant Burrow, to sit down with me and tell us a little bit more about what is happening at that corner lot. Welcome to the program, Brant.
Hi, Doreen. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very excited to hear about this development that's going to be happening, hopefully soon.
Yes.
So is it a done deal?
It's not quite a done deal. It's 99% a done deal. There's one critical element that we of the puzzle that we have to get put in place, but it's essentially a done deal. Still public consultation and that type of thing, but this is not just some pie in the sky hope. We're going to make this happen.
This is going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen when?
Well, aggressively. We've collectively set the targets with the developer that they'll have shovels in the ground this year, and they'll be renting out the units late next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So where is this firm from? Where are the developers coming from?
So they are currently based in Quebec, but they have a sort of a midterm plan to march their way across the province and continue marching their way across the country.
So this area here is the first that they have actually come into to break ground?
Yes, this will be the flagship. They've done this before in Quebec.
Yes.
But mostly around, for instance, Mount Tremblant and sort of resort housing. But this is going to be their flagship in Ontario. They love the property. They love many things about the property. Its proximity to all of the industrial jobs available in Brockville. They like the region. They like the physical attributes of the property. The fact that it's flat.
Yes.
It's a developer's dream.
Yes.
They like the community that they got to know over a period of time. They love working with us. So they're very proud to make this their flagship in the province.
Who are they?
It's Campus Habitations. And two principals. I've worked with them so long, I've forgotten their last names now. It's Raphael and Mark. I think Raphael Freddy and Mark Coran. And they have a long-standing history in the development world. They have quite a portfolio of commercial condominiums, apartment buildings, hotel, that type of thing. But this is a little bit different. This is going to be quite unique, and it's one of the things that excited us.
Were they one of many who sent in a tender?
Yes, and it wasn't so much a tender. This started off as, at least in the council's vision, a scoped master plan for that property. Because let's face it, it's been underutilized for years and years. It's been on the decline for some time.
True.
It had its heyday, many decades ago when there were all kinds of activities going on, the bleachers and the ball diamonds and demolition derbies, that type of thing. So we went out with a request for proposal for a consulting firm to give us a scoped master plan for the highest and best use of that property.
Okay.
And there was a definite requirement to respect its recreational history. So we didn't want to just pave it over into a parking lot and put up a high-rise or anything. That was never the vision. But part of the RFP included a clause that allowed alternative proposals. So rather than going through the traditional master plan process, if somebody had a vision for that property and they could demonstrate that with actual data, then we were willing to entertain that as well. So we received a total of 6 responses to the RFP. 4 were traditional master plan approaches, and 2 were very much alternative approaches to the property. So the council reviewed all 6 and decided that this particular one intrigued us the most for many reasons. And so we entered into negotiations, then a letter of intent, and they were off to the races.
Oh my heavens! It sounds so quick. But it wasn't, was it?
It started in April. So in the municipal world, for something that starts in the spring and gets us to a point where we make an announcement before Christmas, right? That's light speed in the municipal world.
How many acres is there out there at Rouse's Corner?
I believe it's just a little under 30 acres. We refer to it as a 30-acre property.
As a 30, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I just wondered so how, tell us, there's going to be 3 phases, I understand.
Yes, that's right.
The first phase, you're hoping will be up and ready to be rented as of next year.
Yes.
Explain to our viewers what these units are. What is in them? Can I just walk in with my suitcase and say, "Oh, I'm here"?
Yes. So although I hesitate to describe it this way, it's the best way to describe it. But don't think of a stereotypical university when I say this.
Okay.
So this is sort of a dorm-like arrangement for apartments.
Yes.
They're fully furnished. Now, if they will clear out the furniture if you're coming with your own, and that's really what you prefer. But the intent, this is workforce housing. This is aimed at solving the housing crisis so that we can get, the 400 plus vacant industrial jobs filled.
Yes.
The biggest problem right now is that the employers are actually able to find workers from either other cities in the province or foreign workers or what have you. And the jobs get accepted, and then next thing you know, a month or two later, I'm sorry, I can't take the job. I just can't find a place to live.
Exactly.
So really, that's what this is aimed to solve.
Okay.
So yes, you can roll in there with your suitcase, unpack your clothes, put them in the closet, and go to work the next morning because you've got everything right down to the cutlery in the kitchen drawers.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So what makes this a little bit unique is again, if you think about the dorm sort of concept.
Yes.
Each bedroom is a lockable unit with a full ensuite and a workbench and a little sitting area. So it's a nice self-contained unit, right? It's secured. You have your privacy, but there's common amenities. So you share a kitchen, you share a living area. So if you want to think about that like a studio apartment, that's the entry level.
Yes.
But if you go onto the Campus Habitation website, they show all the various layouts. And at the bottom of the spectrum, if you want to think about it that way, for any of the apartments, they show the appropriate wage. So if you're making so many dollars an hour, you can afford this unit, right? If you're making this number of dollars an hour, then you could afford this unit or below. And again, from memory, I believe that they're right around that minimum wage, maybe just a little bit more, and you could actually afford to rent one of these studio level apartments.
Wow.
And that's based on the CMHC
awesome.
guideline of 30% no more than 30% of your gross wage should be going to shelter costs. And there's a reason that they did that. Because they're able to attain that, then they have a lot more flexibility in their financing. CMHC will get involved with backing the project and that type of thing. So it made good business sense. But it also actually goes a long way towards solving the problem of attainability. I'm really going to try and avoid using the word affordable housing because that's something entirely different. That's the social housing, the rent geared to income, all those types of things.
Yes.
So the best term that we have nowadays for what this is attainable housing. It is truly attainable for the common person on the street who has a reasonable job.
Yes. Yes, which is awesome.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
It's exactly what we needed.
It is. It sounds great. So these are units that will be rented.
Correct.
Can they buy them?
No, this is not a condo arrangement.
Okay.
No, they'll always be rented. 1, 2, 3-bedroom units. Now the 3-bedroom units are basically completely self-contained. They have their own kitchen and living area and that type of thing.
Right.
Everything. The whole reason the company called itself Campus Habitations is because they want to create that campus living experience. And again, consistent with our RFP, they're going to include all kinds of recreational amenities. So beach volleyball courts, basketball courts, skating rink in the wintertime, walking trails, including through the woods and that type of thing. So they're going to achieve a level of recreation that we probably never would have been able to on our own. We just couldn't afford it.
So there's 3 phases.
Yes.
So will the basketball court be finished in the 3rd phase?
No. This is in phase 1. I can't speak highly enough. This is almost like a mutual admiration society. If you were to interview them, they're thrilled to work with the township. They've never had that level of access to the right people at the right time to be able to advance something. And I can't say enough about the integrity that these guys bring to the table. So this was not just a bullet point to them in the RFP. They knew from working with me and our CAO over a period of time that we meant it when we said we need to respect the deep recreational history of that property.
Yes.
So in phase 1, all the recreational amenities will be completed along with somewhere between 120 and 140 apartments amounting to about 200 beds.
Okay, I'm just a little confused as to it's really a room that a person is renting, right?
Yep.
No kitchen in some of them.
That's right. So in the entry level ones, they would be sharing a kitchen and a living area.
In a living area with the other individuals.
That's right, yeah.
So it's not set up as like a cafeteria.
No, absolutely not. No, these are private living spaces.
Yes.
But in some cases, you would be sharing common amenities with 1 or 2 other renters, and that's the price you pay for paying less than $1,000
Yes,
a month
yes.
for something that's fully furnished.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
No,
So-
I just want to make sure I understood
Yeah.
that it's not going to be catered to.
No.
You'll have to go out and buy your own groceries
Absolutely.
and bring them in and do your own cooking.
Yep, absolutely. And I believe that there's some layouts with the 2-bedroom units where there is a little bit more included in the actual rental. So you might have your own living area, but still share the kitchen with maybe a single bedroom. Something like that. So,
Yeah.
but the 3-bedroom units are intended for families, where maybe both parents are working, type of
Right.
thing, and they are basically self-contained.
The how many levels? How many?
Total of 3 stories and a basement level as well. The ground level units will all be accessible. So we're very excited about that element as well. And again,
Really?
keep in mind, when you hear about subdivisions and that type of thing, typically, you'll hear this reference to, 20% of it is going to be affordable and that
Yes,
type
yes,
of thing.
yes.
Well, this is attainable, not affordable, but this is not just a percentage of a project. The entire project is going to be this attainable housing. Every building is going to have accessible units, right? So this is not the type of thing that we're used to seeing. And it's one of the reasons that we were so intrigued and so excited to pursue this option out of all the ones that we received.
So what does this mean to the Township of Elizabethtown-Kitley? What does this mean?
Well, I guess I wear 2 hats because I sit on the board of the St. Lawrence Corridor Commission. Firstly, I think about what this means for the region, and again, I think about that statistics that we still have over 400 jobs that are going unfilled, and so our factories and our local businesses are not as productive as they could be, and there isn't a day goes by that somebody doesn't talk to me about, geez, I wish I could find 2 more people, and actually, I found one of them, but they just couldn't find a place to live. So for me, the satisfaction is on the regional level first, in this particular case, and then for the township in the long term, of course, it's going to increase our tax base, and just make when the whole region is more viable, each one of us individually is more viable.
Right.
So
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to tell our viewers about the Rouse Corner?
Well, the one thing is I want to assure them that yes, this is moving quickly, but we are being very sensitive to not being a steamroller. So we're having our public meeting on this issue coming up on January 29th, Monday coming. And the notices for that, just to give you an idea of how sensitive we're trying to be to people in the area, the Planning Act requires a notice of within 120 meters of the property line. Well, we used a 500-meter radius. And we did that because we know that there's a cluster of homes sort of nearby the property, and they all deserve to be informed.
Yes.
We want them to know that we're not going to be cutting down a whole bunch of trees. That there really aren't species that have been identified yet. There's still more studies to do, but so far it doesn't look like we're going to be disturbing anything. It's an open field when all's said and done.
Okay.
So I just want to reassure them that we're going above and beyond the minimum requirements for what we're trying to achieve. But there's no question that we're trying to get this done as quickly as possible because it doesn't do anybody any good to add another year to the process. No. This is a problem that we need solved now. So I think we're doing a pretty good job of balancing speed and still making sure that we maintain the public interest.
Where's the meeting?
It is at New Dublin in the council chambers.
Time?
That would be 6. We have 2 public meetings, so we start at 6 o'clock, and when the first one is done, it's regarding a zoning issue on a different property, and then we'll roll right into this after that.
Okay, and everybody is welcome.
Absolutely.
Anything else that you want to tell our viewers before we wrap it up?
Not about this particular project, and I don't want to corner the market, so we'll leave it at that. And if we have other exciting announcements, well, we'll deal with that then.
I appreciate that, and you will come back and give us a little bit more information as they start.
You
this,
bet. And I'll invite you to the ribbon cutting.
Oh, I would love that. We would love that. Thank you very much for sitting down with me today. I really appreciate it, and this is just so exciting.
It is. We're very excited.
Indeed. Yeah.